A storm is brewing in Japan's boxing empire as Junto Nakatani steps into the shadows of a champion, ready to challenge Naoya Inoue in a fight that could rewrite history. In a desperate race against his own limits, Nakatani builds the lung capacity to outlast the world's most explosive fighter. Watching him evolve, Nakatani's trainer reflects on the journey from a young prospect to a fighter whose future is now limitless.
It's been a hell of a ride. I think that, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, he's the best fighter I've ever trained.
Why?
Because he dares to be great. I believe that he was good, really good before, and he's one of those fighters that comes to the gym. Every time he comes here, he comes to work and to be better.
And that's how he gets better, obviously.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that there's no, the sky's the limit with him. He doesn't, he never questions anything.
Driven by vision, Nakatani practices the art of the knockout, focusing his entire being on landing the one shot that ends it all. Within this chaos, Rudy finds a perfect match, a chess game of violence played out by two elites who have conquered everything in their path.
It can go either way. It can be a 55-45 in favor of Naoya Inoue, but it's a competition, and it's a fight where two fighters are in their prime, and they're both really good fighters, and I think that would be the fight to watch.
Well, why is Junto so dangerous for Naoya Inoue, for those who don't know?
I think
from the youth.
Well, the fact that he's a three-time world champion as well, and he's left no doubt in every fight that he's ever had, and I think he's earned his position no different than Naoya Inoue.
On the other hand, there is a primal energy as Naoya Inoue shouts through the fatigue, hardening his resolve for the deep waters. With quiet pride, his father and trainer Shingo Inoue notes the transformation, describing a son who enters the ring as a lover of boxing and leaves as its ruler.
それもやっぱりそのボクシングっていうものが好きだから、なんかそのボクシングっていう、ステに行った時はもうそういうモード入っちゃうんじゃないですかね。その時はやっぱり人間変わりますよね。
Inside the ring, he masters the high-speed dance of the counterpuncher, turning the ring into a trap that Nakatani must try to solve. As the training camp progresses strongly toward fight week, boxing experts are rapidly giving their predictions on the outcome. Giving his take, Teddy Atlas saw Inoue as the clear favorite but still respected Nakatani as a live underdog with real danger. He shifted the focus to geography, saying distance and positioning would decide more than reputation. Atlas believed it would come down to range control, with Inoue likely looking to stay close and impose his style.
Yeah, listen, Inoue's a big favorite, even though it's greatly highly anticipated. He's at least 3-1 favorite, right? Not more.
He's 4.5 to 1 favorite currently, where Nakatani will get back plus 300.
I think Nakatani's a live dog. You have to like Inoue. It's hard to go against him. This fight will come down to geography. I talk about geography, you know, as though I'm a real estate broker. Location. To me, that's sometimes the most important physical element of a fight. You know, guys have to be mentally ready. They have to have a good intellect, a good fight plan.
Continuing further, Atlas said Nakatani's last fight might have sharpened him, even while still labeling Inoue the monster with quicker, more explosive hands. He noted both fighters had moved up in weight, which could slightly affect their power. Still, Atlas stressed that both Inoue and Nakatani carried real explosive danger, calling it a hell of a fight that could shift in an instant.
I'm going to go and say that fight helps him. I mean, Inoue's the monster. And, you know, he's got the quicker hands, I think, in this fight. I think he's a little more explosive. Both guys have moved up several weight classes. I don't think they carry their power quite as much as they did at the lower weight classes. Inoue does have those moments where he's very explosive. So does Nakatani. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I think it's going to go, I mean, it could go like that with the kind of explosive moments that this fight can bring on both sides.
Continuing further, Atlas expected the fight to go into the later rounds, driven by pride as much as skill. He pointed to the national pride behind the matchup, saying it carried more weight than just a result. Atlas still gave Nakatani a live chance against a top pound-for-pound opponent ranked just above him, closing with strong anticipation for the bout and the upcoming live companion stream.
But I think it's going to go rounds. I think there's going to be a lot of pride involved. Japanese pride. It's going to be a lot more than just about the W. It's going to be about the pride of a country. That's going to play into it. I give Nakatani a shot at a large number.
It is a large number to get a fighter who, in your rankings, is a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. But then again, he's going against your number 2 guy in your pound-for-pound rankings. Like I said before, I can't wait for this one. And if you guys want to join us and do a little breakfast in boxing, we're going to be here at the YouTube channel, The Fight with Teddy Atlas, and doing a live stream fight companion with Teddy's commentary for this matchup, Nakatani and Inoue. So come join us.
Adding to the debate, Roy Jones Jr. called Inoue a rare level talent, extremely dangerous, and still underappreciated in the US. He suggested he could already be pound-for-pound #1, but lacks the big crossover fights to settle it. Jones added that limited American exposure keeps him underrated.
Yeah, I get what I'm telling you. Like, what you gotta understand that. I do understand that, you know, but at the same time, there's another tornado brewing over there in the name of Inoue.
He just won.
That is a bad dude, you hear me? Say what they want. I know he's way over there in Japan or wherever he is, but that is a bad dude. You understand me? They don't give him the credit because we don't see him that much. That dude right there, I think that dude really is pound for pound #1. He just don't have a competition at that weight class to have that big fight to get it right now. And the United States don't know him because we don't have big fighters in his weight class over here that we know that good.
We only seen him against Fulton.
You feel me? So that's all, you feel me? The one that we did have, look what he did to him.
From a technical angle, Tim Bradley backed Nakatani as a real threat, saying he had a genuine chance against Inoue. He pointed to defensive gaps, especially moments where Inoue can be caught with offline shots. Bradley added that past opponents have found success there and suggested Nakatani's timing and backhand could exploit that same weakness.
I was saying that Nakatani was a guy that's going to beat Inoue. And he has a damn good chance of beating him, man. It's going to be It's got to be, you're going to have to catch Inoue offline. He has that offline shot that Inoue gets hit with quite often. Carnitas was able to hit him with an offline shot. Neri was able to hit him and hurt him with an offline shot, man. And Nakatani, he has those offline shots, especially with that backhand. And he can walk him into it. Inoue still has a bad habit of crossing his feet. He'll cross that lead foot.
Continuing further, Bradley explained that Nakatani has multiple ways to set up his offense, from inside slips into body shots to looping attacks and straight lefts down the middle, all built around his lead hand and ability to draw opponents in. He highlighted the wide stance as a key detail, saying it forces opponents to reach and creates openings for counters while keeping Nakatani just out of range with controlled positioning.
He has various ways, man, in throwing that shot. I see him also do like an inside slip and a body shot off a right hand, where he'll slip inside of the right hand and throw a body shot at the same time. I seen him loop it and go to his right. I seen straight lefts down the middle, but everything is all predicated off that lead hand and if he can draw his opponent in. And I noticed that he keeps that wide base because he wants his opponents to have to reach. That's what he wants. He wants you to reach so he can teach. So that wide base, that puts his head a little bit further back and his body a little further back.
Continuing further, Bradley explained that Nakatani uses his front foot and angles to draw opponents into traps, even giving up position to stretch their entries. He noted that small angle shifts force punches to travel longer, creating countering chances as opponents come in, while adding that Nakatani prefers to keep the fight at range rather than inside.
And then you got to deal with that front leg, that front foot. And then when you try to step on that angle, and the funny part is he'll give you that outside position. Nakatani will give you that outside position. That's fine. He doesn't mind that at all, because he understands stepping in a 45-degree angle to make that right hand have to travel a little bit further, stepping in a small little angle, 45 degrees, to make that right hand reach a little bit longer. And then that's when he counters you while you're lunging in or, as you're coming in. Then he counters you. Nakatani's not a guy that really likes to fight in the inside.
On the topic of ranking, Mike Coppinger suggested a dominant win for Inoue over Nakatani could seriously shake up the pound-for-pound debate at the top. He contrasted that with Usyk, implying even a strong performance in his next fight wouldn't carry the same impact. Coppinger added that Inoue's case grows as he keeps beating elite opposition at the highest level.
If he does it in fashion, I think you have to put Inoue number one at that point. I mean, obviously, especially when you compare, Usyk's going to be fighting Rico Verhoeven, right, a kickboxer, so he's not going to be able to really strengthen his resume, even if he blows out Verhoeven. Whereas if Inoue, if he beats Nakatani in fashion, in convincing, I think you have to put him number one, yes.
In any given era, there's sometimes a guy who's clearly number one. And in this era, while I thought it was Terence Crawford, and now it is Usyk, you have people who can make a case for Inoue, and I think that case becomes stronger if there's no Crawford at all. Usyk is 38, and Inoue continues to fight elite competition and looking for bigger challenges in other weight classes.
Moving on, Showbiz the Adult highlighted Naoya Inoue's rare achievement as a two-division undisputed champion at an exceptional pace, noting how few fighters have ever matched that level of success. He then pointed toward the growing anticipation around major future matchups, with names like Junto Nakatani and Jesse Rodriguez emerging as key figures in boxing's most exciting potential clashes.
But the thing about Inoue, to give you a little insight, how many weight classes he's gone up already? He's two division undisputed. He's undisputed in two division. How many fighters has done that? And Naoya Inoue, the competition he's fighting right now, Nakatani, we always wanted that fight. Don't move away from that. Also, Naoya Inoue, we don't want him to move away from Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez is just now, he's going to move up another weight division in his next fight. We're getting closer.
Continuing his point, Showbiz the Adult said Inoue's rise through weight classes and run as an undisputed champion has come against top champions and former champions, but what makes fans excited about fights like Nakatani and Rodriguez is his shown vulnerability, noting he's been dropped multiple times yet still gets up and wins by knockout, adding to the drama of his career.
The thing about Naoya Inoue and what he's doing now, and jumping up the weight classes and him becoming undisputed and him taking on the right ops who are around him. All right, he's been taking on champions, ex-champions, number one contenders for the past, I don't know how many damn years. But the thing about Inoue that makes him exciting, that makes you feel okay about him fighting Nakatani and then waiting to fight Bam Rodriguez after that, is that you've seen a vulnerability with Inoue. I've seen Inoue dropped like 3 damn times. At that point, okay, he's putting on scraps, he's getting knocked down, he's getting up, knocking people out.
Framing the matchup, Radio Raheem said fans were right to see Leonard Hearn's comparisons, but believed this fight would play out differently. He noted Inoue is too calculated to trade early and would likely wait things out. Raheem added that while Nakatani usually gets early finishes, extending the fight could favor Inoue's experience, movement, and countering against his mid to long range style.
I remember I was live last night, and a lot of people were comparing this to Leonard Hearns, and I can definitely see the stylistic comparisons. I don't think it'll play out like that. I think Naoya Inoue is a very calculated boxer, and I don't think he would trade with Junto Nakatani early in the fight. I don't see it. Junto, if you look at over his last 5 fights, 4 of those 5 fights haven't gone past the 6th round. He gets knockouts early in fight. It would favor Naoya Inoue to take Junto past the 6th round and use his experience, use his craft, use those explosive legs he got to punch in between the shots and sharpshoot Junto, because Junto has gotten very good at operating from mid-range and long range.
Continuing further, Raheem said the fight could still produce explosive moments, but didn't expect Inoue to start recklessly early against Nakatani's power. He noted slight hesitation in Inoue's recent fights, though not enough to change his overall approach. Raheem also suggested Nakatani may need more rounds and even questioned whether moving up in weight earlier could better suit his development.
They bite down a little harder. We just saw that with Ken Shiro and Seigo Yuriokui, who delivered what is, my opinion, the best fight of the year so far. They go to a deeper level of grit when they fight each other. So we might get those explosive moments early in the fight. But I logically thinking, I don't think Inoue will do that, because if you just look at his last couple of fights since the Neri knockdown, he's been still blasting these guys out of there, but there has been a little bit of hesitancy there at times, and I don't think with the ammunition and firepower of Junto Nakatani that he will do that early in the fight. But I think it's interesting because Junto, I think before he even fights Naoya Inoue, he needs to get some rounds.
Speaking about predictions, Andre Rozier didn't hesitate when asked about Inoue versus Nakatani, backing Inoue as the clear pick in a true mega fight where he remained the favorite. Rozier still gave Nakatani full respect, calling him an amazing fighter with real quality, but suggested the matchup everyone is really waiting for feels more like Inoue against Bam, also praising Bam's team and the work behind him.
Last topic, who you got between Inoue and Nakatani?
Inoue.
Okay, I thought you would say that. So it kind of seems, I mean, he is the favorite, and that is a mega fight, so much respect to Nakatani. I think he's an amazing fighter. But it really seems like the fight is Inoue and Bam.
Right.
It seems like the fight, man.
Everyone is waiting for that fight. I think that Robert's done a fantastic job with Bam also. I mean, really. With his whole team, to tell you the truth. Fantastic. I think that's going to be a good fight.
Turning to the bigger picture, Ade Oladipo described the month ahead as massive, with Inoue versus Nakatani standing out as the headline fight. He noted it hasn't gained much traction in the West, but in Asia it carries huge weight with two unbeaten multi-weight champions colliding. Oladipo highlighted the rankings clash and suggested Nakatani may be overlooked after a solid but less flashy recent win, before stressing that it still set up what he called a monster of a fight.
Ethan, May 30th as well. That's a crazy month. Honestly, that's a crazy month. The standout has to be Inoue Nakatani. I mean, that's as big as it gets, right? And it's a shame that I feel like it's not got the noise over here or in America, but they don't care. In Asia, that's as big as it gets. Again, you have two unbeaten fighters, multi-weight world champions, pound for pound number 2 versus pound for pound number 6. I did their last fights, and I think everyone's maybe sleep on Nakatani because it wasn't the greatest performance, but he was in there against a very, very tough Mexican, and ultimately he got the job done. Got the job done, got home, got the W, and now it sets up this.
The debate around Inoue and Nakatani continues to split opinion, with some seeing a clear favorite and others pointing to real danger in the matchup. Across all the breakdowns, one thing stays consistent: this is viewed as a high-level, historic clash between elite fighters at their peak. Whether it comes down to timing, range, or experience, the outcome feels wide open depending on who imposes their game. As Fight Week builds, anticipation keeps rising for what could be a defining moment in both careers. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on your prediction for the fight.